No, this is you've hit on an important point. I was just listening to the radio where Boy George was saying about Stephen Gately and how difficult it is for him to come out and everyone else around him to have to deal with his sexuality.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's far harder if someone comes out, about their spirituality.
Oh, yeah.
And people around them to have to deal with the fact that this person has got religion or got God or got some wacky kind of new age philosophy.
Absolutely.
Much harder to deal with.
Absolutely. And I mean, I've found this with my friends as well, and it's, I think part of the thing is, especially with spirituality, because it's still so misunderstood, a lot of people think immediately of religion, a lot of people think airy-fairy, new age, and it's it's one of those words like God and love that has, that has attracted so many definitions, so many interpretations. It's like, you can't really, have a communication with anyone about it and on the same level. But let me ask you this, because I think this is important. I mean, how do we get off this particular, if you like, as a matter of choice, of course. I mean, how do we get off this sort of particular high horse of if you like, rejecting or not embracing the sort of the inner world? I mean, this is really what we're talking about, isn't it?
Most people, and again, I think there's a kind of Western dichotomy here.
Yeah.
Inner world, outer world.
Yeah.
That spiritual life means rejecting the external. It means a life of poverty.
Well, not rejecting.
To a lot of people, that's what it means.
Okay.
How can you be spiritual and own a car? Or certainly, how can you be spiritual and own an Aston Martin? So we do see that somehow or other the two don't seem to go together.
Let me give you a take on this. I think that there's an element here. I mean, I accept entirely what you say. I mean, I've never thought that, for example, money and spirituality, that's the classic thing. I've never thought that it's not possible to have, millions or thousands of pounds, whatever, and not be spiritual. I mean, there's no dichotomy there at all.
There shouldn't be.
At the highest level of spirituality, I mean, it's infinite abundance. So, I mean, it's like there's no question, and money's just energy as part of, the same game, if you like. But I mean, isn't there a sort of deeper issue here, and that is, what I'm really saying is that because so many of us are, if you like, so preoccupied with the material world, with the money, with earning a living, quote unquote, and all that. I'm not saying it's not good. It's good or bad. I'm not, labeling it or trying not to judge it. But on that basis, the focus being totally outside, they're not able to actually, to go within to such an extent to get to know themselves, as you were saying earlier.
That's because we see dichotomy.
It's like having this, to have an identity, I need to identify with my car or my house or whatever it is, not with my soul or my heart.
Again, I think it's a Western dichotomy. I just working in India, and this, I'm not going to make generalizations, say it's all spiritual, everyone's wonderful, and everyone's making. But there was so many examples, and it's part of the kind of the Vedic kind of tradition.
Yeah.
Is that it's not a question of separating your life into compartments. It's a question of integrating all of the activities holistically.
Right.
This is holistic life. That when you're working in the world, when you're running a business, you're doing it in such a way that is nurturing your soul.
Yes.
That is true to your spiritual values, that actually is expressing your values, is your way of offering service into society. It's your way of serving your employees, serving your customers, making sure that what you are producing, what you're selling, is freely and nicely available to a wider kind of clientele. And, it's part of the distribution of goods into society. It's a service, and at all the times it's enriching your soul to be engaged in that way. So that's why the Vedic tradition is, first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, do some meditation.
Yes.
Don't get into the world immediately.
Yes.
Focus on meditation.
Yeah.
Focus maybe a little on puja, reminding yourself who you are and who you're serving. focus a little bit on some spiritual wisdom. Read from the traditions, you know, think about what's important. When you've done that, now go into the world and apply all that in everything you do.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come back in the evening, you will have been battered a little bit, because it's not easy. So again, have the sandwich. A little,
Okay, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
a little reflection before you kind of get into other things,
Yeah.
in order to kind of calm right back down and build yourself. So you have you sleep well at the night, and the next morning, meditation, work, bring yourself back down.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's
Okay.
there's a program for kind of allowing your material and your spiritual life to be completely integrated, so that one is enhancing the other, and it doesn't become the dichotomy.